Hello, everybody.
What's going on? What's going on?
All right. Beautiful day, beautiful people.
hmm
We are back at it again. The Awakening Room podcast, episode
16.
16.
16 it is.
Sweet 16. Thank you guys for being on the ride with us thus far. And as always, I am
And
Trust.
this is Mike.
And we are your cosmic philosophers. Hope everybody's been doing well. And I did want to start this episode off by talking about the energy. I've seen, quite a few people commenting or posting on social media about different things that they've been feeling lately, um, different sensations, headaches, tingles,
Being hot as hell.
hot as hell. I mean, we are in summer,
This
but
one is
it's
different
been
though.
hot. It is.
This is
Yeah,
different.
it's been hot. I cannot lie.
It's different. I think I got like 4 different shades of brown on my body, and I don't like it.
And to that statement, it's not like you've been out in the sun
Not
all
long
day,
at
every
all.
day
No,
either. So
short periods of time. My arms and my legs are. First of all, my arms are 2 different complexions
it's okay.
because of the t-shirts. Then my legs is a different complexion than my arms, and then my face is another complexion. Like this,
I mean,
it's too much. I
we
need.
got varieties happening.
No, no. I want a uniform coat. I want a uniform coat. That's what I want.
Stay indoors is the moral of this story.
Yes.
Stay inside.
UV is something different.
Yeah, the UV is crazy, but we need the sun. We need that vitamin D as well. Go outside for 2 seconds, get get 2 seconds worth, go
Get
back
cooked.
inside.
Rotisserie.
Oh man, but I will say that I have felt some headaches here and there.
Yeah.
But there can be a lot of contributing factors when you like analyze your your entirety, right? Your entire surroundings and everything that could contribute to different things that you're feeling. But yes, there is a lot happening energetically as well. We are in Lionsgate Portal. If you are unaware of the Lionsgate Portal, this is the date range. You may find varying date ranges, but I always adhere to July 26th to August 12th, with the peak happening on August 8th. So 8-8. That's why you'll see like the 8-8 portal, Lionsgate 8-8 portal. And just I don't want to like spend a whole lot of time on it, but just to give a little bit of tidbits, it is essentially the alignments. Sirius is making its journey to be in alignment with the sun, and Sirius is very much so revered highly within ancient civilizations as far as spirituality, divinity, mysticism, things of that nature go. So highly revered. Um, and this Lionsgate portal, which is the alignment of Sirius with the sun, and I believe there is connection with Orion as well. And of course, the Great Pyramids of Giza.
hmm
So, yeah. Very, 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 very deeply rooted in ancient civilization and um, big spiritual energy. You will see a lot of things people, discuss this being an opportune time for really digging into the things you want to manifest, your desires, releasing things, and most importantly, there's an enhancement in connection with the divine, right? The ability to connect and within yourself and also expand your awareness and receive information. And it's just this window of opportunity that, not to say that there are not other moments and you could do this all the time, but the belief is it is heightened during this
Yeah.
time because of the alignments of Sirius and the sun and
Mm-hmm.
other things that are happening as well in the cosmos. So if you are new to hearing about the Lionsgate portal, I would suggest like just looking into it a little bit and seeing what things resonate with you about it. And if you have been feeling a little differently energetically, um, I think I've seen some people say they feel like a lot of things around them have shifted. It's like, hey, what is this? I don't remember liking this before, but I like this now, and I ain't used to do this, but I do this now. Like, picking up on subtle changes. Or if you feel like your body is reacting to the energy in ways where it's giving you where it could be producing headaches and things like that, just find ways to navigate through that, different modalities, whether you meditate more.
Transmute it.
Yes, transmute that energy. If you need to be more active, if you need to rest more, because it could be giving you some fatigue. Maybe this is it's telling you've been doing a lot. Time to rest.
Yeah. I don't know if, like for me, like even I want to say the last few days, truly, like my eyes just been so heavy. Headaches, of course. Sleep is not the best,
Yeah.
but again, you transmute it, work out, do some kind of meditation, something.
Yeah.
But I have been really tired.
And hydrate.
Oh, you definitely got to hydrate. Boy, my lips
Hydrate.
was so dry yesterday in the morning. I was like, yo, Jesus. Yeah, your lips have been so dry, like it just stuck together.
Oh
Like
gosh.
I was I
Yuck.
was like, what is this? I'm drinking water, trying to lick my lips, and my lips still dry.
Still dry.
What's going on
Dry
here?
mouth, dry lips. Listen. We don't subscribe to that. We don't
Not
need
at
that.
no, not at all.
We don't want that. We don't need that up in here.
Hell no.
Keep them lips moist.
Right? Kiss
Yes.
some baby oil or something.
Get some baby oil. Oh my goodness. Aquaphor chapstick, something.
Something need to happen. Yeah, but I got a nice bottle right here.
Yes, nice bottle. Get your
1.5
hydration.
liter.
But don't forget as well, hydration doesn't mean just consuming water all day every day, because there have been times where we drink
true.
plenty of water,
This is true.
but there have been times where I still felt like I'm dehydrated, even though, like I said, we drink plenty of water. You need the electrolytes as well, to help retain that hydration. And however you get it, people like coconut water. I think some
Coconut water works for
pineapple.
me.
I think I hear people say dropping a little salt in the water,
salt, yeah.
sea salt, Celtic salt. However, just get your hydration in too. Eat your melons, eat your cucumbers, eat your water.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Be hydrated, people. Yeah, so just wanted to touch on that for just a brief moment. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer what I can. Just feel free to leave in the comments. And yeah, like I said, I'm happy to answer as I can. Beyond that, I guess when you think of being in different energetic alignments, sometimes things will appear, or you may have thoughts or experiences where it triggers something, right? Sometimes things can be triggered, and usually I guess we as people, we try to find out, what is this, why is this, where's this coming from. Well, we were watching something recently, and the statement, it was kind of touched upon traumas, right? How humans go through different experiences that are traumatic, and the emotional responses, reactions that we have to these things of that nature. And they were discussing the process of not seeking out your trauma. Like, don't seek it out. So my question for the listeners would be, do you seek out your trauma? How do you approach that? Do you seek it out or do you just let it appear?
Well, I don't think people are gonna seek the trauma. First of all, nobody wants to seek that. But excuse me. Um, I do think it is something that comes about, and you have to again, notice what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and then to go forward with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to seek it, that's different.
So I feel like there can probably be mm, moments when people do seek. But I
Well,
will say this because when you are on a healing journey or any kind of self-awareness journey, right? You will probably hear a lot of people say you got to figure out what your trauma is so you can heal it. So that's what I mean by seeking. So
okay.
people are probably going to sit down and be like, okay,
Well,
well,
yeah.
what's traumatic for me? What was my trauma?
Well,
What was my
I don't think they would look at it and say what's traumatic for me, but they would. I think people will ask like, why am I like that in this manner?
mm-hmm,
And then you go reverse from there to find out what that is and what caused it.
mm-hmm,
Um, yeah, that's what I think. You know, some people may say, like my sister was talking about, she doesn't like that she thinks the worst of things.
mm-hmm,
That's something she don't like. She really wants to change it,
mm-hmm,
and she doesn't even know why she does it.
mm-hmm,
So for that type of example,
mm-hmm,
that's something that you are aware of. You
mm-hmm,
know you do it.
mm-hmm.
So now you have to figure out, why is this?
Right. I think that's a little I think that is more so along the lines of letting it arise. It happened, right? It's something that has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I keep jumping to the worst is going to happen. Why am I doing that? Where's this stemming from? Instead of like placing it in your mind. And I think that's where I find it can be harmful when you quote unquote seek out the trauma. Like if you, because unfortunately, people get wrapped up in the popular the yeah, I guess that's the word, what you most commonly see, the popular themes and such that you come across, especially when you're like really searching for something. It's easy to grab hold onto the, oh, what is that word? Grab hold onto things that are just constantly being repeated, right?
Well, yeah, and I think that's the situation for her. Like she thinks the worst of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like she say, if she has a headache, she be like, "Oh, it's so bad. I'm gonna go to the hospital." Like you got to go to the doctor for everything. But then it's like when you hear it from multiple people, and then you think to yourself, be like, "Well, I am like that. Like I do think that way. That is
Mm-hmm.
my thought process." And you keep hearing it from other people. Then it makes you be like, "Okay,
Then that must
why?"
be me.
Now that
Yeah. So I guess the way that, like, of course, doing self reflection, self awareness, and all that stuff is helpful in growing, right? So you can shift the things that you're noticing about yourself that you're like, okay, this isn't really working for me. I need to change this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to the root cause of it and make a change. And, but when you are someone who is kind of new to things, right? And you're constantly seeing certain terms or things thrown at you, it's like, oh, you have to, it's like you always come across, you have to heal your trauma, you got to get in there and get that trauma. It's like really thrown out there heavily. And so for some people who are newer, who may be less aware of certain things, it may cause them to connect to things being a trauma that's not actually trauma, and that can be harmful because now they're creating trauma that's not actually there.
Well, if it's for situations like that, if it don't resonate, then it don't resonate.
Yeah, but that's coming from people who are more aware. But that's what this is like me messaging to people who are newer, less aware. It's like, don't
Oh, okay,
just,
I see.
yeah,
I'm about
don't
to say,
just.
really, what? If it
This
ain't
is
there,
my
then it ain't
messaging.
there.
You know this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for those who aren't quite there yet,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it may because it sounds good. Somebody is saying something, oh,
Oh,
that
okay.
sounds, oh, yeah, that sounds good. I need to do. No, don't just grab a hold of it and start creating things for yourself that aren't there.
Yeah, but even still, again, I do think that's then I would be overthinking, but
Yeah, which is harmful.
which is harmful. I mean, unless you are overthinker. I don't know. Maybe that something to it, but it's different for everybody. But I do think though, as far as the traumas,
Mm-hmm.
if you are ready for it,
Mm-hmm.
then I think I would say to face that, because with that you get your healing. You get to you get more depth of certain situations that you may not have
Mm-hmm.
realized it to be what it was,
Mm-hmm.
and you 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 work from there. You work from there. There's a lot of things, like I said, that I've come to learn about myself
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't think were traumas, because certain things that I would see, like especially around me,
Mm-hmm.
like
But I
where
think
I've
that,
grown up, it was normal,
yeah, and I,
but as you get older and you know you learn more, you
mm-hmm.
expand more, then you sit back and think about it, and it was just like, yeah, that wasn't good. It
Yeah,
seemed normal because
because it just
everybody
is what it
experienced
was.
that
What it
thing. It was
was.
like this in every other household, and
Right.
every your friends and everybody grew up a very similar way. But when you actually think about what certain things are,
Mm-hmm.
you realize, like, that's, yeah, a lot of that's abuse.
Yeah,
And then you realize, like, that is a trauma. It's suppressed, but it's a trauma, and you're thinking it's normal, and then you
mm-hmm.
grow up again. And we spoke on this before in another
Yeah,
podcast, but you grow up, and then you have kids, and you teach them one thing, and then you start to,
yeah,
it looks different all of a sudden. You're just like, wait a minute,
yeah.
this is how I grew, but that's,
It's
yeah,
not
that's
right.
not right. But again,
But it takes that shift
it takes the
to
shift, the maturity,
occur.
and we spoke on the maturity in another
Mm-hmm.
episode prior as well. But again, once you are, because you can, when you're growing up, you can be so accustomed to
You
things, and
can.
you be like, oh, that's no big deal. It's,
It becomes your normal life, like you said. It becomes
yeah,
like
it's like,
it just is
it's
what
not
it
a big
is.
deal. And
Yeah.
then kids grow up, because these kids now are a bit different.
Yeah.
But you look at them and be like they're so soft, and but, like, and that's a judgment in itself,
That's
because now we're
yeah.
starting to make the
Because
differences.
what does that mean?
You know,
So soft. Like what does that mean? But I think to the point of you become coming into the awareness of certain things being a trauma is to the fact that I'm saying you weren't seeking that.
yeah,
It just
yeah,
it organically
yeah. It showed
showed
itself.
up.
Yeah,
It's not that you sat down and was like, oh, let me just comb over my entire existence and see where I can pick out all the traumas. Like I feel like that's that's a
that's
bit
doing too
much.
much.
That's a bit much. Like I feel like there can be an over obsession of things of that nature when you look at certain things in the spiritual world. And I also feel like they label, like, so
That's a
many things
lot of
are
labels.
yes, it's
It's
so
a
many
lot of
labels.
labels.
Like
That's
so
very
many things,
unnecessary.
yes, very. So many things are labeled as trauma. Like granted, a lot of it may be, but again, why create something that's not there just for the sake of trying to make it sound like something, or the
Well,
of you know
I don't. I don't. No, the reason I say I don't is because you are speaking from something you've seen online, right?
yes.
And that's the difference, because I don't even go online for real
Well, I
to
mean, it's just
see
even just
anything.
scrolling through Instagram. You
You
scroll
know,
through Instagram and
I
see what
do.
you see, but I guess my algorithm is more so like, and these are not pages I even follow. These may just be random things that are popping up, but they're connected to the light, like the spirituality life,
No.
consciousness life, and
Yeah.
things of that nature.
Uh-huh. I get what you're saying, but like I said, we were having a channel conversation the other day, and they were speaking on people talking about what is it, earth angels or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
and and I was just like, oh well, that's new. Like I think it's a new phase because I'm new to it.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it's been something that's been said a lot. And
Yeah.
you know, what was asked, it was like, oh, so you think they're basically just using it as light workers, like another way to say light workers or
Yes.
anything. And then I
Interchangeable.
was just like, well, I would guess so, because again, I don't follow these things. So
Yeah.
if I hear somebody say they're an earth angel or something like that, then I'm just like, oh well, I'm assuming that may be what they're talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm new to it, so
Yeah.
it's new to me. But that doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's new,
New.
right? So
Exactly.
it's something that has been going on. I'm just not aware of until recently.
Yeah.
So, and it's just those type certain things. So what you were saying, and I was like, well, I don't know because
Yeah.
I'm just not aware of these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. And that's part of it, having the awareness or not having the awareness. Even if you have some sort of awareness, then maybe you can comprehend, grasp, etc. But, if it's not something that's been in your viewpoint, your vicinity, just like no, I don't know this.
Yeah.
which is fine. Um so back to
What you were saying.
um the trauma
Hmm.
showing up, seeking it, etc. Let us know, please, in the comments, your thoughts on that. Like, how do you address the quote unquote traumas? Like, or have you been a person that you sit down and you analyze everything to try to get there? Or are you the person who, I'm going to tackle it when it shows up? Like,
Yeah.
you could be, you just going about your day, going about your way, and then boom, something appears and you're like, okay, what is this? I need to figure out what this is. Like, I feel like it seems like maybe most people are on that side of the coin, on the when it appears, then I know it's there. Now let me find out why it's there. But that brings me to my next question in this. Do you feel like there's always, like you always reach the root cause? Do you think there are moments where there's an experience you're having, um, something that triggers you, but you're actually not able to
To
find and
figure it out.
connect to what the root cause is?
I mean, if you're looking that far and you can't get an answer, then maybe that's just it. Just
Mm-hmm.
address what you can. But I will say for me though, when I've realized it, me personally, I try to address it.
Mm-hmm.
Make the adjustments. The thing with that is, especially if as you're doing so, it's easy to start to, I guess, point a finger,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or blame another person. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times that can be the case, because the only reason I say that is because if you're a kid, you can only do,
Yeah.
you have to depend on others,
Yeah.
the adults, of course, and those around you.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was certain things I was really upset with.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, with the awareness, understand the perspectives, and if you, the shoes on the other,
Yes.
you know, you have to, I guess, see what it's like from their viewpoint and what it was for them
Mm-hmm.
at that point. You
Mm-hmm.
know, is it the best that they can do for themselves?
Right.
So you have to. It's that the compassion for the next person in their situation.
Yep.
So for me, it was a good amount of things I was really pissed off about, but I was just like, you know what? I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just move forward,
Mm-hmm.
take it for what it is, and just do better.
I think that's a big component of, you know, I guess the healing aspect, the
And
healing
that's why I
journey.
do say that, because that's the way I decided. Because some
Yeah.
people you can easily go the other way,
That's exactly where
and it
I'm
could just
getting
be
at. That
worse.
is a big component. Is, like you said, people look for someone to blame. Finding the cause of what you're doing, it's like, okay, accountability is one thing, right? You are reacting the way you react to something because you're choosing to in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it may be connected to something that happened in the past, but again, we choose what we do, we choose what we say, we
Mm-hmm.
choose how we act. We literally make these choices. No matter whatever the catalyst may be, we are still actively making the choice, and only we can be held responsible for the choice that we are making in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can go drill back. It's like, well, I only choose this way because I was taught to choose this way.
Yeah, but you once you already know what that is,
Then
go
you
ahead, you
can, yeah,
continue.
exactly.
You continue. I didn't mean to cut in like that.
No, but you're right. Um, it's not about placing blame. When you're healing, it's not about going back to who can I blame for this? Who is the it's not about that. But it is very possible that it turns into that for people, especially when it's connected to childhood things. It's unfortunate that so many things happen to people as children,
Yeah.
because when you think about it as an adult, you're like, no, children, like
Yeah.
it's our children.
And this is the thing. Like I said, we spoke on this before in another podcast. But again, it's the innocence, the purity of the
Mm-hmm.
kid, you know, is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like the people you was talking about on social media to be like, oh, trauma, trauma, trauma.
Yeah.
But again, if you really sit back, all the trauma for any adult, it always goes back to your childhood. It's always something. 9 times out of 10, it's
The
something from the
majority, yeah.
childhood that something bothered you, something a certain
Mm-hmm.
thing you suppressed. As you get older, you start to realize more. Everything starts to
Yeah.
unravel, and you start to put pieces together.
Yeah.
And then you're upset with this person, or that person said this, or you didn't come here, or I asked for it, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But you are so used to that
Yeah.
because of all the years prior, and you're an adult now. Now
Yeah.
you're stuck in your ways.
Yeah.
So
You have to make the
once you
choice.
have to make the choice to address that,
Yeah.
to adjust that,
Mm-hmm.
and to move forward and
Yeah.
expand. And that is hard for a lot of people because, again, like I said before, it becomes that thing where you're right. You feel like you're right,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's not always the case. You're just
Yeah.
programmed in a sense.
Right.
You're accustomed. That
Accustomed
doesn't
to.
make you right.
Right.
But again, the perspective, right? Because now you're right from your perspective, but
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't make it right. I hope everybody's
Across the
following what I'm
board.
saying.
Yeah.
I really do, because it does make the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It truly does. And a lot of times, you can people's personality is because of
Mm-hmm.
how they were built, how
Yeah.
they were groomed,
Yeah.
and you get stuck on that. You don't want anything else. Like, no, this is what I want. This is what I know it to be, and this is what it's gonna be. It's like, no,
Yeah.
but stepping out of that because
Yeah.
it's unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's an attack. It feels like somebody's telling you you're wrong. You've been
Yeah.
wrong your whole life, and this, that, and the third is just like, how about just looking and be like, wow, like this whole time I've been okay with these things, instead of
But
just
it's,
be like, it's time
yeah.
to change that.
Mm-hmm. And I also think, dang, you said something, and it kind of, and I wanted to respond to it. It's kind of wavering away, but maybe it'll come back. Um, the ah the even when the experience that you had, was not good, but you became so accustomed to it that you allow it to continue, right? And that's another unfortunate byproduct of it as well. It's like, okay, I know that what was happening was bad. I know this wasn't right. So it's not even always the feeling of I'm right, it's right. Because some people will know 100% without a doubt this was not right.
Yeah.
But it was my experience. and they continue to allow themselves to
Because it was like, oh, this person,
act
well,
in
that
the
happened
same
to me,
way.
so you should happen the same.
Yeah, so
Because sometimes it's easy sometimes
it's
to let
easy
those things
be
continue instead of face it
yeah,
and
and
break the
that's the
will.
thing too. The ease,
It's
the comfortability in it, even though you know it's not good,
yeah,
you're just comfortable there.
right. Well, I grew up like this and I'm fine. Well, maybe you're not.
Maybe
clearly,
you're not.
clearly
That
you're not.
statement in itself
Yeah.
says you're not. That
Oh, that happened to all of us. All of us grew up this way,
it don't
and we fine, and
matter.
it just helped build our yeah. But
No,
something is still off, right? Because
right?
there's some kind of issue somewhere. There's a little
Yeah,
rift here, or certain. It's always something,
something.
right?
Yeah,
But again, when you're an adult or you're dealing with other people, and you be like, well, when I was in that situation, nobody helped me, so I ain't got to do nothing. That's
yeah.
because you
That's
don't want to address
yeah,
that situation.
yeah.
It's easier for you to just say, well, I don't want to do it. I don't have to. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to, and I don't have to because nobody did it for me. It's
Yeah.
easier to say it that way
Mm-hmm.
instead of just like, look, I didn't like this. Let's do it this way. It doesn't have to be an issue, or obviously I'm keeping it very vague
Right.
because I don't know what the situation is. But a
It
lot
could
of
be
us,
any situation.
we
Yeah.
resonate with certain things. So
Yeah. It could be applied to several
yeah.
situations. So yeah.
So
It's,
again, you don't. It's easy to just let these things happen and be like, well, I don't care. Like, but you do care.
you
You
do.
do care because that's
Deep
why you're
inside
saying
you
it.
do.
That's why you're saying it right now.
Deep inside you do.
Like,
Like
ain't nobody help me. Ain't no. Yeah. So you
yeah.
care.
And now
Because
is
you're
the
so
time
emotional
for
about
you
it
to
right now.
help
That yes,
yourself.
help yourself, and then when the time comes, you can help the next person.
Exactly. That's that's just the whole concept of, I guess, to use the word healing again,
Yeah.
just when when you identify it and you work through it, and again, it's not about placing the blame on any specific time, person, event. It's about seeing what happened and then working through it and then learning how to not repeat it yourself, like going forward, and how to not consume and apply certain things to yourself in response to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
People talk about emotional maturity and the way you respond to things. It's not saying emotional maturity is not saying don't have emotions. It's saying know how to hold the emotion and navigate through it without negativity, right? Essentially.
Yeah, without any conflict,
Yes, without conflict, without negativity. And
and to hold your composure.
holding your composure and not acting out,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
There's not a need to act out to everything. Just things, yes, can make you mad still, can upset you, can do whatever. But choosing to not lash out or crash out, as they like to say nowadays, is the emotional maturity.
yeah.
To be able to hold the fact, okay, this is pissing me off, but I'm not gonna react in a way that's, you know, causing more conflict and more harm.
Mm-hmm.
And then identify why is it pissing you off in the first place. Sometimes it's just you come to it and be like, you know what, this really shouldn't be making me this mad.
A lot of times, well, it depends on the
It
person.
depends on the person, of course. But sometimes if you really look at it, it's like, this really shouldn't be making me this mad. And then just let it go. But, you know, each person has their own method of dealing with things and such. And do you think that there are people who have not experienced any trauma at all?
Um, I think. Well, again, that's a perspective
It
because
is a perspective.
it's
Mm-hmm.
what do you call a trauma? It could
Exactly.
be you could be somebody who always had everything you want, and
Mm-hmm.
then one time somebody says no. That's a trauma. Like, oh my God, they told me no. You know, no, but there are people like
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
know, like everything they want, they get, and
Yeah.
sometimes a person tell them no, or you have to wait, certain things like that, and they can't handle that.
Right.
So to them, that would be a trauma.
And it's one of those things because as you talk about it, um, I would think that it would cause anybody listening to like think for themselves, like their own life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking about it, I'm like, my childhood, it's like I feel like for most of us who grew up in the 90s, we all received whoopings, whether or not they was called beatings, whoopings, discipline, whatever it is, right? And you don't necessarily connect that to trauma. You growing up, it's like, well, I was getting disciplined because I did something I wasn't supposed to do. And you going on from it in that manner. And I didn't get a whole lot of, whippings, but I did get some. And I don't think I ever would have considered it trauma or abuse in that manner. But it's like, was it necessary?
Well, and so that's the difference again. Now, how did you get your whippings and your beatings?
Right.
Right. So it's different.
Yeah.
What type of object did you get hit
exactly. That
with?
type of thing.
What was the reason, and how frustrated was your parents?
Right.
Or, like these
or your
things
grandparents
matter.
or whoever did it.
Or
right.
whoever. Like those things matter.
Yes.
The and then little from details. A kid, if they don't think, it's like, oh, well, I was hungry. I wanted a snack.
And I took a snack.
And I took the snack. And then depending on how you got whipped, like, is that necessary?
Was exactly.
Now,
was it
again,
necessary?
If you, like you said before, now if you continue to try to dig, like, well, why did I get hit like this? Like, what happened to, like, why would they do that? So now because you have to dig into what happened to them for them to respond the way they do.
Right.
And, it's a spiral.
It is.
Again, once you can realize what these things are, you take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Depending on you. I mean, I'm not saying it as a joke, but like.
But yeah,
depending on you. And it goes from there.
Yeah.
I could be honest. Like, I was hard on my kids. But again, it was like, it was that thing where, like, it's normal. It's like, oh, you get frustrated and you already said no before and you're still talking about, like, shut up and, things like that. But that's how I grew up. And the more I sat and thought about it, I was like, these things weren't right.
Yeah.
These things were not right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There's that.
Yep.
You gotta hold yourself accountable, even though it was something that you feel it was done to you, but you realize that, okay, I'm still on that path, that it was done for me, so I don't like this. Time to drift off.
Yes.
And from this point on, no more that, these situations like that. And
coming to the
realization. I got whippings with belts, with broomsticks, switches, hands. No, ain't no switches. No, they didn't. My mom said she got hit with switches when they were kids, but
switches leave them whelps.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's crazy in itself. You mean? It's like they did that to slaves.
Yeah. That,
you know what I'm saying?
I was going to say that was
do
more
that to a kid.
From the
like,
older
that's crazy.
generation.
But this is the
My
point
grandma,
that I'm saying.
she would tell us
because
get the
that's what they knew.
Yep.
This is the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
And to do that to a kid, that's kind of crazy. It messes up your psyche young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I said, different things.
Yeah.
Your hands, you either get open hand, punch, like whatever the case is.
And even in school. Things, like in school, when they would paddle you in school.
Yeah, that's a Southern thing.
They didn't
I'm not laughing. No, hell no.
Wow, y'all didn't have corporal punishment. Negative. Is what they called it.
Negative.
Yeah.
But again, now we're talking about the differences because for you,
yes,
but from here, like, no, negative. And then what age? Because I remember my junior high school, teachers was fighting.
Oh no, this is elementary school.
Oh no. They definitely
Elementary
wouldn't let
school.
that happen in
I don't think
elementary.
we were
Nothing.
doing this, and they
No,
did
but I'm
it in
saying in
junior high.
junior
But
high
yeah,
school,
elementary they.
in junior high school, students and teachers will fight.
Oh well,
I
in
mean, and that's
elementary,
not good. That's not good either. Just
it's
so you
not.
know,
It's not
it's not good. But
because
no,
you're an adult. Why are you
no,
fighting this kid?
no. I mean, but some of those kids, when I was in junior high, some of them kids was as big as the teacher.
Yeah, but
But
they still.
and again, it's not to you know to glorify or talk about put too much light into any of that. But
Yeah.
there's differences. Yes, they in school they did teach us that no, you can't paddle like that's.
Oh yeah,
And
we
even we
had
were
it.
taught that it was like that's more of something that they did in the South, and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
For
And other
sure.
than that, but again, the way we grew up, where you the teacher do something, you tell the parent come up there, and then it's a situation there. But
I mean,
again,
we
as a
had that
kid,
as
when you
well.
continue to see these things, though. But
Yeah.
again, it's the systems is where you live, how you grew
Yeah.
up, and it's
Yeah.
this. It sucks, but
Being that you just mentioned that the environment, right?
it is the environment.
The environment where you grow up and the things that you're um dang, what's the word? The worst.
Community.
Well, in the community, the things that you witness, I guess, that you observe in your environment, um, even that can, I guess, formulate some sort of traumatic response, even if you didn't directly experience it. But it could be something that you just witnessed and observed in your environment that happened to somebody else that kind of stuck with you too. Um,
I think. Sorry, not to cut you off, but
Go
I'm
ahead.
I'm thinking like the paddling. I think some parts of the Midwest, I think they did that too.
Hmm.
Not just to put it to the South, but I know
Yeah.
it was big in the South,
Yeah.
but I think parts of the Midwest that it has done it too.
Okay. Well, listeners, wherever you are from, I just
No,
want
no,
just
that
not to
paddling
the,
part,
but
yeah.
I just wonder, like, did you guys grow up in similar circumstances, situations, things like
But then
that?
it depends on who's listening, right?
Right.
Like
Where
at
you're
what
from,
time?
do these things sound familiar to you? But yeah, like I used to listen in elementary. That was something that was big, and it's one of those things because they would, whenever somebody would get paddled, they would do it in the front of the class, right?
Yeah.
And to put fear in the rest of the students.
And see, and these are the things that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That itself is
that's what.
something that I'm talking about.
They put the fear in the rest, and then you could tell that they're doing it because they try to go extra hard on how they paddle the student who did the bad thing that's getting
Yeah.
punished. And now the rest of the students, and then they looking around the class at you while they hitting the other person. And the paddle was thick too. It wasn't no little flimsy
So that
thing.
happened
It
down
was a
there?
wooden paddle. Yes,
That's crazy.
yes.
Now, and I've seen, actually, I think I have seen that. It wasn't a paddle, but a ruler on a hand.
No.
But then one of the students told the teacher, told the parent, and the parent came up and
So we ain't doing that
everything
no more. Yep.
changed.
Oh no, they
Even
did that
from a
too.
ruler.
The rulers on the hands, but
Yeah, they
no,
was
the
like, no,
paddles.
they
Like they would
not
literally
happening.
lay the student. I remember. I don't remember what grade I was in, but I even think I remember this in fifth grade. And I had a male teacher in fifth grade, and he paddled one of the female students,
That's crazy.
had her lay across, and the
Oh, you
what?
mean like,
Yes,
oh, that's crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And we was just, in the rest of the class, we sit there just pure silence, and all you hear is whop,
That's
whop.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That would have never happened.
Yeah,
And
no.
if it did, it would have been a big thing.
Yeah, no. My parents were not. They put that you cannot paddle my children.
Yeah.
That you cannot. If they did something wrong, send them in the office and call me. Like, do
Yeah.
not paddle my
Because
kids.
my
I
mother
think
said if that ever happens, you let me know and I'll be up. If I can't be up there, somebody will be up
somebody
there.
will be there.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't happening. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it crazy times, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually they got rid of it.
Yeah. But I do remember in elementary, they even speaking on that, they was like, yeah, that's, because, they give you the rules of what they can't do. Because, kids ask questions or certain
Yeah.
things. So it was like, yeah, that's something that, you know, we are not to, when school first started, look, these things are no. You can't speak on these things. These things will not happen. But if you do get in trouble or you're causing an issue, we will send you to the principal office or whatever. Call your parents,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I remember one time in elementary. I don't remember where the teacher was from, but she was upset with the. I think his name was Randy. I don't know why I can remember his name,
Mm.
but I think it happened in the cafeteria. For whatever reason, they were going back and forth, and I think the teacher did like a gesture. You know how uh,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Italians, they do that
Yeah.
thing under their chin. They did. She did something similar. If it wasn't that, it was another gesture. But what it means for her culture is to like get away, like leave me alone or whatever like that. But he took it for what he knew it for,
Mm-hmm.
and then it became a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I think the teacher almost got kicked out and everything, but they had to.
They thought she's being profane.
Yeah,
That's how he
and
took it.
because
Yeah.
he responded the same way and got aggressive. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think she wanted him to go do something, and he was like, "Oh no, this is how it is." And but as an adult talking to a kid, it's like, "Oh, you do what I tell you to do."
Yeah.
Situation, and then I think he whatever it was he didn't do it. He was like, "No, I'm telling you, this is that." And then they were going back and forth, and then she did the gesture, and then he just got upset and started doing it back, and I
Yeah.
think he started becoming more disrespectful, whatever words he was saying.
Because he took it
And
as
then
this.
the other teachers heard it, and so he was like, "No, they, the teacher said this or whatever the gesture was, and that's what they
Mm-hmm.
mean." And she was like, "No, it does. Like, you can overhear it." But
Yeah.
then the parent came, I think the mother, and it was a holdback, so they had to pull him off to the side, and then they explained. Of course, as a kid, you're gonna tell what happened because everybody,
Yeah.
"Oh, what happened? Your mom
Right.
came up. They had a fight. Like, what happened?" And the teacher, of course, because you're the adult, you
Mm-hmm.
have to tell them like it's a misunderstanding. It's a
Mm-hmm.
cultural difference,
Yes.
and sometimes these things happen.
Yeah, they do.
But again, I think I'm saying I think because I didn't go to school
Mm-hmm.
down south, um, but I know there's a big culture
Mm-hmm.
melting pot up in New York, so
Yeah.
there's somebody from everywhere.
Yeah. So it's
So a lot of these
very
things, like
possible.
to hear,
Mm-hmm.
they be like they do that,
Yeah.
to where down south, like that's something that's there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of diversity.
Mm-mm.
It's unless you're in certain cities,
Right.
right? Like that's somewhere
Certain
in
states,
Florida.
certain cities.
It's
Yes.
not even certain states. Well,
Certain
certain states,
states.
yes, it
Yeah.
does matter, but certain cities make a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I would guarantee you, back then, Alabama, basically black and white, boom, boom, and maybe
I
you
mean,
got
even
some
still though,
Mexicans here and
even
there.
still, when you come down here, it's
Still
still
no,
just blacks
yeah,
and
blacks
whites.
and whites for
You
the most
and you'll
part.
get
You see
some
some Asians
Mexicans or
here and
some
there now
Asians,
too.
but very
Very
sparingly
few. Yes.
to where. But this again, like I said, the way I grew up
Mm-hmm.
north is
It was always
you
that
see
way.
this everywhere.
Yeah.
You see it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've had Mexican classmates. I've had any type of Hispanic, like people
Yeah.
from
The
the
islands.
islands, just
People from
everywhere,
Europe.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
So it's
I feel like it's cool to grow up and experience that. Like
we just drifted off from
we
the
did.
from the traumas and just we just going elsewhere now.
It did drift, but I guess only because it went into the like trauma from the environment, right?
Yeah, the
Trauma
environments.
that you
Now
don't
let's get back
necessarily
on track to what we're talking
personally,
about.
right? So you have lived experience trauma, and then you also have eyewitnessed trauma,
Yeah,
right? That you
and
didn't
that plays a fact.
directly
Yeah,
experience, but you witnessed it and it left an imprint.
yeah, because that happens as well.
It does.
You get traumatized from seeing whatever. Like, look,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't want to ever be around there. And
Yeah.
you know,
And I think that can be one of the causes to why so many people have anxiety.
yes.
Like anxiety is something that is so common. It
Apparently,
seems like it's one of those things where people just seem to have it.
yeah.
And you're like, "Well, why? Why are you anxious for this?" Like for things that I don't know. But okay, just to give an example back to you talking about like how your sister's like, she always thinking the worst. I had such bad fear of flying. So that's when I think of that, somebody saying thinking the worst, I was always just under the impression, oh, the plane is gonna crash. That's just gonna happen. Why? Why? I've never experienced that. I've barely even heard of plane crashes, but I always was just under the impression, up in the air, no, something's gonna go wrong. That's so that was
Yeah.
traumatic for me
Even though
until,
you never experienced
even though
anything
I
like that.
never experienced anything like that.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But got over it, worked through it,
Yeah.
got over it. But it's so sometimes it's, yeah, direct trauma. Sometimes it's your anxiety over what can go wrong trauma.
Yeah.
And it's not
Because
even
that can make the whole situation even worse.
exactly just the whole fixation on what can go wrong.
Yeah, because when we were on that long flight, we basically was in the air for basically a day
Yeah,
going to
that's
Asia. But
crazy.
one of the times I woke up and I seen the cabin shaking and everything from the turbulence, and I looked around and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going back to sleep." If something happened, I'm gonna be
I
asleep.
want to be
So
sleep.
I don't want to see it either. Cause I'm looking, I'm like, what's that
Oh
noise? And
God.
the noise is what made me wake up.
Yeah.
And I look up, you know, when you first waking up, everything kind of hazy. And I'm looking, I'm like, the cabins look like it's shaking.
Mm-mm.
And then I hear it rumbling. And I'm looking around and I'm looking at everybody's face, some people's face rather. And I'm looking at, I'm focusing now because now I'm woke. And I'm looking and I was like, yeah, the cabins are shaking. I'm
Okay.
going back to
Go
sleep.
back to sleep.
Yeah. Something
Sleep me,
happened.
please.
I don't want to know.
Sleep me now.
I don't want to know. We somewhere over the Pacific.
Listen,
I don't
I
want to
can't
know.
swim.
I can't swim. I,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I'm going back to sleep. I went back to sleep,
Yeah.
and when I woke up, we were still in the air, and I said, "Okay, cool. Let's go back to sleep again. Let's go back to sleep again."
Oh, right. The
The
sleep
second
made you feel safe.
when we landed in South Korea, when me and my team when we grouped back up because we had to transfer,
Mm-hmm.
we looked at each other, and they was like, "Whew, I'm happy that's over." we Everybody was like, "Yeah, I ain't want to say nothing." All of us was responding to it, and it was just
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yeah, I didn't like that."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm so happy that's done." Yeah, I was so scared. Tim was like,
Mm-hmm.
"I was so scared." I was like, "I ain't gonna lie, I was too, but I just went back to sleep." I don't want to know what's gonna happen next. As
Sit
long as
down
we in the
now.
air, we good. I don't care.
Right?
I don't care.
Gosh.
But yeah, those things, and again, especially like you said, it's something that you have no experience with, so there's no reason to
No
think the worst.
reason.
There's no
Yeah.
reason to think the worst.
But we talked about this in another episode where it's like, why are we as people just so prone to jumping to thinking the worst
Yeah,
of situations? Like, collectively, we got to fix that, right?
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
each individual, of course, you have to fix it on your own, but it would be so nice for people in general just to not automatically jump to the worst case scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, let's, yes, of course, the what's the saying? Prepare for the worst, but hope for the best.
hmm
Like, yeah, let the first thing you think about be the best. Yes, be prepared in case it's not, but let's not automatically default to that, right? And I think that's probably seeking not necessarily seeking trauma, but it's creating trauma that didn't need to be there
yeah,
because we just automatically jumping on the worst case scenario, the negative of something that is creating trauma within
yeah.
yourself. It is.
Because you're creating something that was never
That
there.
wasn't there to begin with. You're putting it in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
anxieties and everything else goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So gotta stop that as well. Um, I guess I don't know if it really connects,
Oh, we can jump to something else. It's fine.
but I want to talk about, or at least try to touch on, the consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do I want to approach this? Okay, so when we rest, when we go to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your consciousness travels, right? You
Yes.
go elsewhere, different wave states, right? Different
Yes.
consciousness. Um, and in your sleep state, you know, for one, I want to say that we are all connected.
Mm-hmm.
So there's times where, because you're in your sleep state, it can be people who you're not very fond of that will pop in, and it has
Not
happened to
very
me.
fond of.
Let's try to make it as friendly as possible, right?
Yes.
Um,
Not quite fond of you.
yeah. That may pop in, and this has happened to me. Sometimes I'll be like, "Why are these people here?"
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the reason is because as we're traveling
We're
in
going into
different,
a different experience.
yes, you're going to a different experience, and because this person may not, you may not be again so fond of this person in your present reality. Elsewhere, it can be a
Yeah,
different situation,
it can.
right? It could be a different type of relationship,
Yes.
and a lot of times, when we wake up, we upset about certain things. It's like, oh, why was this person here? Like, I don't even want them. Like, why? I ain't been thinking about you, because again, we are all connected,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Like
And
we
a
don't
lot of
have to be
times,
thinking about them.
yeah, and a lot of times, there are messages that can be
Relayed.
relayed,
Yes.
right? But the other thing I wanted to say is, as we're traveling, there are times where we know what's happening, but
Mm-hmm.
as we awaken, it fades out so fast. And that's
Yeah.
because, certain information is not for us to retain. So
To retain
to
here.
retain here in the present. So, it's the being untethered. Like, what was the proper term? That's correct. The
uh,
tetherance.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
So so yeah, you want to speak on that a bit?
Yeah, sure. Um, to your point, like you said, our consciousness is a great explorer. We
Very much
go
so.
anywhere and everywhere. Some you will remember, some you won't remember.
Mm-hmm.
There have been several travels that I've had with people who I do not talk to, like presently. I have zero conversation with them, but they're my travels and we having all kinds of conversations or interactions, or we at a party together. Like we are all buddy buddy, but I'm like, I don't communicate with these people in in this reality. Like
Yeah.
not at all. Like it's not saying I have an issue with them, but that travel would have made me think this is somebody I talk to on a consistent basis,
Yeah.
right? But no, it's not. And it just happens because like you said, we're all connected and we can be more connected somewhere, or maybe even our souls, of course, are much more connected than who we are in this life experience right now.
Yeah.
So there are many ways that you can look at it and approach it, but going through different consciousness states, when you are in sleep state or even in meditative state
Mm-hmm.
or even in daydream state.
Yeah. It does change your wavelength.
Exactly. That does as well. Like as you're sitting and let's say your mind just drifts and starts to wander and now you're in a what we would consider a daydream where it started with thought processes but now other things are just formulating and flowing. Just for example, that's how Kiara met one of her guides
Mm-hmm.
was in a daydream state, right? She was at school or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just happened that quick. Like
Mm-hmm.
so these different moments, these different states, we can't be mad at what we experience in them because it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Would you mad at just your higher self?
No, but
You mad
see,
at your consciousness?
but the difference with that is because again, we are all connected. Our
Yes.
souls are all connected. The difference is your personality,
Right.
your ego, you, right?
The
That
you
makes
right
the
here, right
difference
now. Yes.
opposed to this other person who you may not like so much.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the point, I guess, the way I'm trying to connect it is because you may not like a person, especially if it's somebody who you don't truly even know.
Mm-hmm.
But in the travel state, like you said, it could be somebody you talk to often and y'all are cool. You have to realize, what are those things? Why are y'all cool there?
Yes.
Right? So again, in the present time, your awakened state,
Mm-hmm.
your personality,
You have
and
chosen to not be
and
cool
that
with this person.
personality is like, that is on y'all, like, right?
Right.
That is your ego part,
Yeah.
because the soul, they don't,
Yeah, the soul
it
doesn't
doesn't
care.
play around with that. It's not
The soul is
entertaining that.
not like, oh, I don't like this person. No, the soul likes that soul. Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
the work that needs to be done for the whole work will get done.
Right.
It's us who are making things slow down,
Yes.
you know. And again, there's so many different levels of consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how am I trying to say it? It's I guess, to keep it simple, there's so many different levels and layers to it, to where, for example, okay, for example, I've never met the actor Michael Jai White, right?
Right.
Okay. But I've seen Michael Jai White in my travel state.
Mm-hmm.
And he has showed me techniques and broke down certain things for me that nobody has ever
Mm-hmm.
shown me or explained to me.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's like I have this knowledge of certain things and
Mm-hmm.
certain techniques from him.
From him.
And he'd look at me and be like, yo, I've
I've
never
never
met
met
you.
you.
I've never met you. He is from New York. He's from Brooklyn, but I don't know him.
Right.
He's older. I don't know him. We've never come across paths.
Yep. At least in this.
Not in the physical. But again, like I said, I've seen him on 2 different occasions, and he's shown me certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I do like his work.
Yes.
Right. What I don't know. I don't watch many of his movies. I'm gonna say that, but his work is as an athlete, as a fighter,
as a martial artist.
As a martial artist.
Yes.
I think he's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
His philosophies, his thought processes are amazing to me. I use them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for him to show me, and I would always say to myself, like, I would love to work with him. And then it happens in travel state.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you can share information. You can have these
Yes.
experiences with the people, even if not the physical.
Right.
Right. So these are these situations of what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So the point again, you can connect with other people.
Yes.
And still get that type of information from them without being in a physical state, and they are not aware of these things.
Right. They
Makes
are
sense?
not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And listen, if he was aware and was like, "Yo, I was teaching this guy,"
and then
in my dreams, he would probably be like, "Yo, I had this dream. I was teaching this young dude some techniques."
That would be cool if it happened the other way.
So cool if it happened the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what makes the dream state so fascinating, right?
Because again, it's not really, well, it is the dream state, but again, it's consciousness.
It is
it's
consciousness,
how
but
consciousness moves.
It's easier to explain it as the dream state.
Fair enough.
It's very fascinating because you have these experiences, and as we are aware and we understand, yes, it's our consciousness, and these are experiences that are actually happening. But everybody doesn't have that awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But to know what you're experiencing with someone else, be like, oh man, I was just in Hawaii with so and so, and we just having a good time. Ah, that was so much fun. They don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
They have no clue that this was happening at all. But I feel like those serendipitous moments where we do actually get to share travels, even if it's like, if we've had it like maybe two to three times,
Mm-hmm.
and it is
The
so
same exact.
cool to have that be like, oh, we actually had the same travel.
The same exact.
That is an amazing experience to have, just to know, because I feel like people, that's something that you think about, you like growing up or something. It's like, yo, I wonder if you could have the same dream as somebody else. I feel like that's a question that most people may have had at some point in
Mm-hmm.
time. It's like, yo, can we share dreams? Can you have the same dream as me? Like, let's see if we can do that.
And sometimes it does happen, but it happens in different uh
Yes.
times. Like it could say you had a travel or whatever, and then like 3 months later, I'll be
You
like,
had
oh,
it,
and you'd
yeah.
be like, that sounds like the one
The
I
one
was telling you about.
yep.
But then it's like, well, I was in a different room, but then I came back and was because yeah,
Yep.
we had
Same
that.
house,
That was the
same,
same one.
yep.
We had one with uh Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yes,
That was very interesting.
it was.
And
Because I
the
was like,
details that I
wow.
was telling you, and then you had certain details and you put
Yep.
them together and was like, oh, that's what happened.
Yep.
Because you said you had it was you, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, right?
Yes, and I just remember there was a couple that I ended up having with them, but the one that I believe you're talking about, I remember going in the room. It was me and Jay Z were in the room, and I think Beyonce came in later or something like that. But I do remember going into the room, and I remember something about a little girl. Um, but it was just interesting because it was along the lines of trying to help them with their connections or something like that.
Mm.
So it was very interesting.
Yeah. But then I had one where I had came in the house. No, I think I was already there. You know, sometimes you disappear places. And there was a little girl. She was sitting at the door.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a screen door.
Screen
And I
door.
was talking with her. And then towards the back down the hallway, it was dark. And then I seen somebody moving because I was sitting on the floor with the kid. And I look up down the hallway rather. And then I look up and it was Jay-Z
Mm-hmm.
coming down there. And I'm looking, I'm like, Jay, like, what he doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the little girl, the door opened, the screen door opened where the little girl was, and he just went through there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, why is Jay-Z here?
Mm-hmm.
And then I had asked you, and you was like, something happened, and then he left out the door. And then I think you said you remember seeing something about a little girl
Yeah, the
by
little
the
girl in
door.
the screen door.
Yeah,
I like, as I was saying before, I was more so focused on Jay Z and the Beyonce part, but I was picturing it in my mind. It's like, yeah, the little girl in the screen door, and the screen door was like had like a white frame.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There's a white frame, and I want to say it was the light coming out of it. I don't know what it, but it could have just been because it was the white frame.
Mm-hmm.
From my perspective, what I remember, because I was like, something was light there. I remember,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just a little girl there just swinging, playing with the door. And I'm like, oh, what you doing? And then I was sitting there with the little girl, and then I see somebody moving, and I look over and I see Jay-Z, and I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Jay, like, why he here? Like, what he doing here? And then I
Yeah.
think that's what it was. I started to get up to go back to where he was, and then I think I woke up, and then so
Mm-hmm.
we thought about it and started putting it together, and was like, oh,
It's the same.
that's the
Yep.
same travel.
It's cool.
So that has happened
Yeah.
about, I want to say about 3 times,
Yeah.
because it was that one.
And then the
There was
house with
another one when we were in the house.
the kids and the dog, and
Oh, so 4.
as I said, maybe
Yeah,
3 to 4 times. Yeah.
yeah. So it does happen. It does happen.
Yeah. But to your point with it, the connections, like, yeah, it may be off-putting, the connection you have with somebody, and you might not like it, but again, in your travel state, your consciousness, their soul, your soul, connecting there is for a reason.
Yeah. It's a lot that happens
Mm-hmm.
in travel state, much more than what we know.
Right. Because we
And
only remember little tiny pieces.
yeah, but you also don't understand the depths of what happens,
Right.
and you know what's being shown or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case is. So there's a lot. I just wanted to, I guess, pique your interest in that.
Pique interest.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've had any um interesting dream state experiences, we love to hear it. Or like your perspectives on connecting with people in your travels, people that you don't connect with regularly. Like, what are your thoughts and perspectives on that?
Yeah.
Feel free to share.
Yeah.
Anything
So
else?
um, I don't think so. I guess that's it.
Guess that's it. That's all. Done for. All
Yeah.
right.
Again, we thank you all for listening, for tuning
Yes.
in. Thank you for the likes,
The shares, the
the
comments.
shares, the comments, subscribes. Um, Stay hydrated.
Yes.
Stay
Stay
cool.
cool.
And
And work on what you feel you need to during this time frame.
yeah, use the energy to help you, to guide
Mm-hmm.
you, to
Mm-hmm.
assist you. And yeah,
Ashe.
yeah. We talk to you all later. Love is love always.
Love is love. Peace.